Hey there, welcome back to Navstar. Today we're reviewing the HobbyKing Yak-11. This is a wild ride. Hang on.
Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to the Yak-11 here on Navstar. We're going to open this puppy up, go through it piece by piece, put it together, fly it, give you our assessment, and hopefully we can put a good video together for you with an honest review. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, let's take a quick look at some of the history of the Yak-11. It was a Soviet fighter aircraft that started out in the 1930s. Designer Alexander Yakovlev turned from sports planes to fighters, and the Yak-1, which flew in January of 1940, was quite a nimble aircraft, and it hit 360 miles an hour. When Germany invaded Western Europe in 1941, the Yak-1 became a frontline profile and escorted bombers and battled the Luftwaffe quite successfully. Along came the Yak-7 in 1941. Again, started out as a trainer, and because it was such a high-performance aircraft, it led into a fighter role, and over 5,000 were built. In 1942, the Yak-9 arrived, which was often called the finest Yak built. With a lighter metal frame and a 20-millimeter cannon, it routinely outflew the German Messerschmitts due to its sheer speed, especially in battles such as over Kursk. 17,000 Yak-9s, including tank-busting variants, were created. The next version reached 447 miles an hour, setting a Soviet piston record and pretty much blew everybody out of the water. But after the war, the Yak emerged in 1946 as an advanced trainer, and nearly 4,000 of the 3 variant were produced, serving into 1962. So the Yak had turned into quite a performance aircraft, and they still remain legendary to this day. All right, folks. HobbyKing, the unboxing experience, the one you pay for. This is bringing me back to the Tucano unboxing experience. Good Lord. Look at the size of these wings. I gotta say, this feels so much like the Tucano's construction, connections, almost identical in many respects. First wing section out. I love the way they box this stuff. It is top notch. Really good quality coating. I'm expecting that this aircraft will go together quickly. Pause it, please. I dig the connections here. This is going to be very, very easy to put together. What in the Sam Hill is this? This is the wing spar, and it's made of wood. How about that? Well, I learn something new every day. And there's no reason why this wouldn't be strong enough. This is laminated wood with roughly 6 different laminations on there with lightning holes. Makes a really good dihedral. So yeah, I haven't seen one of these break apart in flight yet. Horizontal stabilizer, check. It looks, is this a pressed foam fitting? Can you zoom in on this camera, lady? Not sure if this is a pressed foam connection or if there's some hinges in there, but we'll find out. Okay, cool. Continuing on in the unboxing experience. Look at this ungodly sized propeller. What?
Well, you have just won the award for the largest propeller in my shop. 16 inches. Good Lord. I could do some damage, so safety first, kids. Vertical stabilizer rudder. And this can't be pressed foam. This has got to be a hinge because, yeah, there's a hinge in there. I'm close and take a look at this. This is pretty cool. We've got ball ends on each of these as they were on the wings. So that's nice. That's impressive, and some pretty substantial connections here for the rudder to meet the fuselage. So excellent. Good stuff. My wife just paused the video because I had styrofoam on my face. It's gone now. The goodie bag. Wing connectors, tail wheel, and a gun. This has got a gun. This has a gun. They put a gun in here. Check this out. Sweet. It's a magnetic gun. I don't have a magnetic gun. Okay, this is cool. This is very cool. Nice. Look at that. And if you hit it, it just comes off. I can see I'm going to need to buy another one. But that is super cool. Magnetic gun. Looks like we've got some other scale fittings here. Exhaust ports. So on and so forth. Okay, that's neat. I'm looking forward to putting those on there. Those little scale touches are awesome. I love it. Oh, and a singular sheet with a setup guide and full download here on the QR code in the corner. Where's my spinner? Oh, found the spinner. I think I found the spinner. Would you look at this thing? Well, you get the largest spinner award in my box of planes. That's not bad. Looks like everything mates up pretty good. So I'd seen where some of the early models didn't have that. And finally, last but not least, le fuselage. Dun, dun, dun. This thing is a monster. Oh, Lordy, we have a plane here. We have a plane and a half. We're going to just plop this down right here, and then my beautiful camera girl will approach slowly. If she can get closer, we're going to take a look at some of the scale detail. Love it. I love it. There's room for a camera in there. Because that's what I do. I put cameras in planes. Look at that. How about that? So how do we open this thing? Ah, here we go. Nothing really to grab onto. It doesn't want to come up. Okay, it slides forward. I will be a pickled monkey. Look at that. I can put a camera in there easily, right? Okay, this is cool. Yeah, we'll have to see how it looks coming through here. Sometimes I buy an extra canopy or cockpit on my FPV planes so I can have one that's unblemished, as delivered scale, and another one that I can modify so I can swap back and forth. But this is pretty cool. I think they anticipated that people are going to pop a camera in these things. I can tell you right now, for the Maiden, I'm going to have at a minimum the DJI 04 Lite air unit in here, zipping away and getting some pictures of that awesome cockpit that's in there. Can you zoom in, honey? Oh, yeah. Nah, didn't work out. You're fired. You're fired. Get somebody else in here. It's the back of the seat. Well, that's what I always see when I'm driving with you. I have to sit in the back. Not true. Okay, this cavernous fuselage. Oh my lord, this is pretty cool because this is high quality. Can you come on over here and take a look? We have a solid wood floor to the fuselage. The XT90 connection for the motor. I love the way that I'm going to spin this around. I love the way that they mounted the ESC in here, right up against the side of the fuselage. Nice work. Oh, sorry, I bumped the cameraman. Lawsuit. Cable management's going to be a breeze. Oh, and good for you. You labeled stuff. I think they labeled stuff. Not 100% certain about that. I'm getting a phone call, but I'm not going to pick it up because I'm filming right now. This is a big deal. Okay, cool. All right, so let's try and put this canopy fuselage thing. It's a little bit funky, but that's not going to hurt a darn thing. So we'll go ahead and nope, got it in backwards. So this slides in like this, and then down we go. Cowling. Oh my lord, look at the size of this engine. This motor is a 5020 540 kV. I'm telling you right now, this thing's going to tear it up. And I will also tell you that this is going to push the limits of my abilities, so I'm going to have to be super careful with this. And I may even hand the stick over to one of our expert aerobatic pilots over at the club and see what he can do with it. But in the minimum, we're going to get it together. We're going to wire it up. We're going to fly it with Radio Master. You can fly it with Spectrum 2. You can fly it with whatever you want. But that's my brand of choice. That's who I fly with. And we're going to get it in the air. Right now, the weather is terrible in Southeast Texas. However, I had someone tell me that it's going to clear up soon. So I'm hopeful that I can get this up in the air and out to you folks within a week. So there you go. There's the unboxing. Let's head on to the build. Okay, YouTubers, let's do this thing. You know what was really cool was they gave us a gun for the port wing. It's magnetic. So if I chunk it up on a landing or put it in the car the wrong way, it's not going to break. How cool is that? Okay. In we go with the wing joiner or wing spar. Uno. Dos. Did I say this reminds me of the Tucano? There we are. Look at that. Ready to go flying. Just kidding. Okay, we're getting there. Next step. Turn it over. Okay. Okay, who's it going to be? To be honest, I'm not ready to do that yet. I am a tester. I want to test my components. But how am I going to do that, you say, without disassembling? Let's just go for it. We can test it once it's on the plane. All right. Ooh-hoo. No, but seriously, this is the best, bar none, of any that I've used on foam planes, and highly recommended. Okay,
We won't overdo it. Run a bead down here. Just run a bead down here. It does run a little bit, so it's not sticky, but it's not like super glue either. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna make a mess. In. No trimming required. Bravo. Okay. You know, I don't see the need to wait for this to dry. I might be missing a vital step, but you know what? I'm feeling good about this. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make sure they're at the proper angle and that I should have done this on the other one. That's fun. Let's do it on this side. Oh yeah. I should work in a factory assembling Yak-11s. Not. Sounds like a jet. Okay. Wing half number 2 ready for insertion. Oh, this one's going to be messy too. Maybe it'll get pulled in a little bit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Coming together for the final wing joining. I don't think there's anything really in the way between these pieces. So let's try it. Everything is in there. I really do believe that a minute exposed to the air is really good for this material. I want to give it something to rest upon. So I'm thinking maybe here I love my rolling cart. I use it all the time. To be honest, this plane went together super easy and the tail elements were very well engineered. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in putting it together. Anyone can assemble this plane with minimal skill set, and I appreciate the way it was built, and ease of assembly was definitely very high on my list of ratings. My first Maiden was really a nail biter because I had screwed up on one of my settings for sensitivity, and the aircraft was pitching all over the place. Not an issue with regards to the airframe, it was perfect, but again, operator error, and you can see how I'm having some pitch issues there. But I got it all sorted out very quickly once I found out what the problem was. And this is the landing that I messed up the landing gear and had to do the walk of shame. All right, folks, we're going to try it again. It has been an education. But, you know, you push the limit, you're going to get bit, and that's part of learning for me. So, at least I'm honest about it.
Throttle active. Telemetry lock being on. Engines on. battery critical. Battery.
I had it, yeah. Oh man, that was a good one. Hey folks, so I finally had a successful flight on the Yak-11. I had some real challenges and some lessons to learn on this puppy. I learned about torque roll. On this plane, you've really got to take it easy. Taking it off, gentle throttle. She liked taking off with flaps, and I was eventually able to get her up in the air and fly her around successfully. The last video I talked about pushing the limit, not being afraid to crash, and persevering, and well, I crashed a couple times on this plane. I messed up the gear, I had to rebuild it. I also messed up the cowling and broke the engine off, and last night back in the shop at Navstar, I reassembled it with some guidance from some of the experienced guys here, and we were able to get it back in the air this morning for a successful flight, and now I'm confident with it, right? I could have walked away from it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this plane. It's all the pilot. But I'll tell you what, I love it now. I'm going to be flying it a lot. As soon as I can get a new cowling, I'll fix the one that I have here, and we'll be back in business.
And I will add that my dear friend David has given me the nickname Tango Sierra, or Toggle Switch, because that's how I was treating the throttle.
As far as this plane's flying characteristics are concerned, you know, I'm a real new guy when it comes to performance aircraft. So all I can say is I got her up, I got her down, she flew just fine, and I'm real happy about it. So there's a lot of other plane reviews out there that can give you some much more specific details on flight performance. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be taking this thing and learning on it and step changing my skill set so I can do some aerobatics at some time in the future. So thanks for tuning in.
Hey folks, thanks again for tuning in. This was a challenging aircraft for a new guy, but man, did I have fun doing it. You know, it's really important to understand that crashing is part of the hobby, and don't get discouraged. The best thing you can do is to get right back out there. The worst thing you can do is to walk away from it. I've had a lot of crashes in my time learning this hobby, and I'm grateful that I went back and didn't get discouraged. The Yak-11 is an amazing aircraft. For the right pilot with this skill set, this thing is a real beast out there in the air, and it's just a lot of fun to have around and have part of the fleet. I'd like to give my thanks to HobbyKing for trusting us with a review. Hopefully with the warts and all coverage, you guys got something out of it, and I look forward to having you back on the channel. So thanks again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. It does help us a great deal, and we're looking forward to getting our next aircraft up in the air, and that's going to be an EDF jet. Have a good one.